marked. The Mbale City engineer, engineer Kasata Edison, is currently interdicted and is on the run. And when arrested, he will be arraigned in court because his file was sanctioned. Our field visit to secondary schools in Mbale City, namely Nkoma Secondary School, Mbale High School, revealed indeed, despite receiving capitation grants from government, they levied compulsory school charges or school fees ranging between 335,000 per term to 443,000 for each student, of which for each of the schools sampled. This is contrary to Section 9 and 10 of the Education Act. In the messages to all schools in Mbale and across the country, I retaliated and I keep retaliating the government position and His Excellency's directive on illegal charges in the government schools where there are contributions by parents. No child should be denied access to education for failure to pay voluntary charges like meals. Some parents are willing to pack food for their children. So members and honorable colleagues, we need all of us to fight for the poor so that they get the education. Also, an engineering audit was instructed into the questionable City Abacha, which cost government 113. We are still waiting a report from Minister of Works. We moved to Bulambuli. Mr. Speaker, together with the Minister of State for Local Government, Honorable Namere, and Honorable Simon Mulongo, Honorable Twala Fadil of Tingei County, who's a neighbor to that constituency, and the General Secretary of PLU, and the area members of Parliament, we inspected several government projects in Bulambuli where issues were noted. At Muyamba Health Center 4, the main health center, a construction of a patient's latrine during COVID-19 pandemic at a cost of 73 million. This described as a pit latrine, but when I entered the latrine, there was no pit, there was no hole. So I think when you enter there, you lock yourself and do whatever you do. Maybe people come and collect it. I don't know what kind of angels are there. So no pit was put in that place. So we found the engineer and the health officer, Dr. Muhammad Mulongo, was immediately interdicted, arrested, and arraigned in court for causing financial loss to government of Uganda to the tune of 73 million. He appeared before the Anti-Corruption Court on 17th July 2026. We further visited several roads budgeted for under the 1 billion road rehabilitation grant. The district engineer, Engineer Paul Walimbwa, rather than using approved maram soil for compaction, had several roads including Kimuli Tunya Road, 4.5 kilometer, used garden soil in an effort to cover up his lapses. Upon hearing of my coming, he was subsequently interdicted. How we confirmed there were garden soils, Honorable Byamukama sent 2 engineers who picked samples to our government lab at Makerere and another lab in Chambogo to confirm this was a real good soil for growing malewa. It wasn't for the road. So we moved it to Bulago Health Center 3. The team also inspected Bulago Health Center 3, where government had invested approximately 640 million in infrastructure development, comprising 240 million for construction of workers quarters, and 400 million for completion, 400 million for completion of a ward. Upon inspection, numerous construction defects were discovered, including use of low-quality timber for door. Actually, the BOQ had mahogany door. They put plywood, and the other plywood where you get timber and joined is natural plywood of 8,000, and they call them doors. Absence of hand wash facilities in the maternity ward, incomplete worktops, lacking marble ceramic, wards constructed without protective window screens, big vents exposing patients to likely harmful reptiles like snakes below the bed. So in Mayamba, we had to inform the contractor. We asked him to fix the snag report that we had identified. And indeed, after 3 days, I told him I will come back to inspect. I went back, I found he had fixed everything, put the wooden doors, so we let him go. Then in Miyamba Bukalu Bridge project, there is a bridge. It is Muyembe. Muyembe. Yes. There is the inspection team visited that bridge in the Bulambuli Town Council. Inspection established the significant deviations from the approved engineering design and bills of quantity. Although more than 500 million had reportedly been spent, The bridge measured approximately 7.2 upon my measurement in width and 9.1 meter in length, subsequently smaller than the approved specification and inadequate to accommodate heavy commercial trucks. When I measured and I looked at the BOQ, I discovered the bridge was smaller because initially it would have been 12 meters width and 15 meters length. And the bridge was transferred from where the water is. They created a dry area to build a bridge in a dry area. Then they got tractors to divert the water to open a new canal. They were doing like a canal construction there in Bulambuli, a new canal. So further findings indicated black soil instead of marram had been used for foundation material. The required white of steel reinforcement bars and swamp reinforcement material had not been installed. Construction failed to comply with approved engineering standard. The total project cost was 800 million, of which 500 had been released to the contractor, leaving a balance of 300. The people involved, the town clerk, the planner, the district engineer, all of them were, and the internal auditor, all of them were interdicted and investigated, and they have been held accountable. They have appeared before court. In Tonyu Chimuli, Masabo Road, CC sub-county, inspection team also monitored works along Tunyi Chimuli. The inspection established evidence of substandard road works. The government had released approximately $1 billion for the roads, for the road project. The value work executed did not correspond with the funds released. Ordinary soil had been used instead of the first-class marram specified in the approved BOQ and on their work plan, because they had the work plan indicating what they are going to do on a given road. Engineer Paul Walimbwa, the district engineer, was arrested and he appeared before the anti-corruption court. We moved to Namisindwa. Mr. Speaker, in Namisinda district, we conducted spot checks with Honorable Simon Mulongo into the following government projects. Honorable Simon Mulongo and members of parliament, led by Honorable Musiri the Rastaman, Musira the Rastaman, and the other members of parliament all joined. And I want to thank the members who have joined whenever I go to their districts, because I normally notify them. So in Amisindwa, we found a city secondary school where basic hygiene was disregarded. Student enrollment were infiltrated, coupled with illegal school charges. We found a pit latrine for the pupil, for the student, was filled to capacity. And the teachers had another one which they called a staff toilet, which was also filled. So students were competing with the maggots on where to sport. It is indeed unfortunate. So immediately I ordered the closure of that school, and I asked the DEO and the people concerned to arrange trucks, sewer trucks, to extract all the waste to create a better learning environment for our learners. The girls complained at that school, extremely complained. The headmaster was arrested, Lusaya William, deputy head teacher Sarah Margaret, school inspector of the school inspector of school, and others were interdicted, arrested, and filed sent to DPP. At St. John's College, Magale, I retaliated the government position on legal charges, reminding them of our revolution approach to free primary education for all, program that was initiated by the president in 1997 for UPE and 2007 for UCE respectively. Several roads reported to have been constructed were found impassable. Culverts uninstalled for the district engineer. Maram not put in place. So Engineer Robert Mukerure, without reasonable cause, was subsequently interdicted, but he went on the run to Kenya. We were able to cooperate with our partners in Kenya. He was apprehended across, he was brought back and presented in court in Kampala. So in the production department, several extension workers were denied their extension grant meant for extension services, like the parish development model. The production officer, after conducting audits on the extension grant from the Minister of Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries to Namisinda district for the last financial year, it was found that funds amounting to 163 million were irregularly diverted by the production officer to unrelated activities. He was subsequently held, interdicted, investigated, and his file sent to DPP. The acting town clerk of Lua Town Council, Samuel Kuroba, in Namisinda district, was also arrested for irregularly purchasing land of 40 million. The community said the person who sold the land informed us, I sold this land to government at 8 million. But the town clerk said he had bought at 40 million, and indeed 40 million he had received it. So he has appeared at anti-corruption court on the 9th of August. He has been charged for misuse and causing financial loss to government. We moved to Masaka district. Mr. Speaker, in Masaka district, a number of issues were raised, including syndicated land grabbing, titling land in protected areas, like the forest, the Central Forest Reserve, using Minister of Land officers, one called Tolbert, who has been finally arrested over making fake titles and defrauding the former Vice President Emeritus, Honorable Sekandi. That gentleman made 700 titles on our forest reserve. And the people who bought the land, who got the titles, have cleared all our trees. They are planting pine, and yet the other trees are indigenous, good for water formation. So investigation revealed on the 24th of April, Minister of Water and Environment wrote to the Minister of Land, Housing and Urban Development, reminding them to cancel 265 titles illegally created in Central Forest Reserve, formerly managed by NFA, but this has not yet been done. This is yet to be done. While investigation into the other land matters remain on course, one Zulaika Nakabiri, a notorious land grabber in Nyondo Mukungwe, and 4 others were arrested and arraigned before the Masaka Chief Magistrate Court for irregularity evicting, trespassing on land owned by private individual. They were remanded until 13th of August. Now, Right Honorable Speaker, on that point, that lady called Zulaika, she's a witch doctor in that area, so she uses her scarecrows to intimidate the poor. She found one widow, removed the widow from her house, and told the widow that this is my house. She put windows and put a tenant. So I think that is the impunity and the thugger of the highest order. Then she had done the same. She went to another elderly person and said this was their ancestral land. So removed the woman from her garden, burnt her house. Then she put a shrine on that land there in Masaka. In Masaka here in Nyendo. So after collecting, harvesting coffee, when I reached, I asked the police of Masaka, why haven't you arrested this woman that we fear entering her compound? I said, where is the compound? Let's go there. I'm covered by grace, by the blood of Jesus Christ. So we entered the compound. We picked her, took her. To my surprise, this very woman called Zulaika, she had 5 sanctioned files. 5 sanctioned files of different crimes. And she had never been appeared in court. Because when she grabs land, she sells people's land, gets money to manipulate around the system. That impunity and the people who are holding the file have been referred to the IGP, the police disciplinary, so that they are removed from the force. We should not have such officers who frustrate the poor. So those ones have been sent, and I'm following up on that case. I've also briefed the Honorable Minister, Professor Ephraim Kamuntu, to ensure that those officers are not only transferred, but they are removed from the force. We should not subject and oppress the poor using witchcraft or using power of office, the power that we hold. So now that lady has been sorted. Connected to the above, the senior land officer at Emzo Masaka.
Did you say she's in cells?
Yes, she was remanded in Masaka Chief. She was remanded by Masaka Chief Magistrate Court.
So
we put back the owners.
The evil spirit didn't remove her from the cell?
Totally nothing. But you see, this is what they were telling us, that we all fear her. So we said, I will not fear her. I will not fear her. We removed her, and everything is normal. Connected to the above, Right Honorable Speaker, the senior land officer at the Emzo Masaka, Colbert Ziwata Amale, was apprehended on 12th August 2026 for conspiracy to defraud and several allegations of illegal titling of our own land, the government land, including land belonging to Muzei Sekandi. He made the titles on Muzei Sekandi's land in Chana Mukaka, the land which measured 70. This Tolbert told Muzei Sekandi he had 20 acres. Then he made titles on 50 acres, different plots, and started selling. So that Tolbert, his file is before a DPP for sanctioning. Sembabule district. In Sembabule, this has been the headquarters of corruption, the headquarters of impunity, the headquarters of don't remove me from here. So I'm happy I was joined by the Minister, Honorable Anifa Kawoya, both in Masaka, in Greater Masaka. I was joined by Honorable Kawoya. I was joined by Honorable Rashande. I was joined by Honorable Namere in Masaka district and city. But in Sembabule, I went with Honorable Kawoya. And then in Rakai, I was joined by both Honorable Kawoya and Honorable Anifa. So in Sembabule, Honorable Anifa and Honorable Namere. So in Sembabule, the land management officer, Kananura Emmanuel, whom they call Mr. Champion, and the secretary of the land board, Mr. Kakuru Michael, were arrested for
that let her be given 5 million because it's what she requested net. Whenever that we have tribunals and decisions are made.
We are looking for somebody who moved the motion. I think she was found now.
So you are not the one?
Kaheru told the committee that he has since surrendered the generator as Wangadia instructed the secretary to the commission to have hers picked up.
The accounting officer can recover that generator from me even today if he wishes.
Chairperson, why does he need to recover if you can voluntarily deliver?
I actually explained why I needed that generator. However, I mean, if I can even write a letter deciding that I'm quitting my job, how about returning a generator?
The former secretary to the commission, Ejang, told the committee that her contract was terminated after she resisted the efforts to duplicate her roles and challenge the commission on the handling of funds, which has become a part of the scrutiny of the Auditor General's audit report for the financial 2024-25. Jackson Onyango, NTV.
That report brings us to our first commercial break. When we do
appreciate and regard him with a health center, for who knows, as he retires, he has something to be remembered for. I also ask for health center for Inwera. We appreciate the government that construction is ongoing, but we need an ambulance. As I conclude, on one sweet road that connects very many districts, my members have been speaking about, but as a mother of Amuria, where the road starts from, a road of Soroti, Amuria, Abim, Kotido, and Kapelebiong. Please, those districts love the government so very much. Appreciate us and we reduce this dusty road out of our bodies. I want to say thank you, and I conclude with the Ministry of Agriculture. Please remember Muria. We have never received any seedlings. We have never received any hose. We have not received anything. If there is anything we have done, forgive us and at least rescue us also like that. Thank you so very much.
Thank you, and welcome back. We have...
Right Honorable Speaker, I wish to thank you so much for an intervention on a security issue